John Kapoor, the pharmaceutical kingpin behind the opioid crisis. John Kapoor, the billionaire founder of Insys Therapeutics, once stood at the pinnacle of the pharmaceutical industry. His company developed Subsys, a powerful fentanyl spray intended to treat cancer-related pain. However, Kapoor's ambition to dominate the market led him down a dark path, making him one of the key figures in America's devastating opioid crisis. Under Kapoor's leadership, Insys engaged in aggressive and unethical practices to boost sales. The company bribed doctors with kickbacks disguised as speaking fees, pressuring them to prescribe Subsys even when it wasn't medically necessary. Patients were often prescribed dangerously high doses, fueling addiction and misuse. In 2019, federal prosecutors exposed the scheme, revealing how Insys employees manipulated insurance approvals and misled healthcare providers. Kapoor and several executives were charged with racketeering, making him the first billionaire convicted in connection with the opioid epidemic. In 2020, Kapoor was sentenced to 5.5 years in prison. The court highlighted the devastating impact of his actions, which contributed to widespread addiction and loss of life. However, in 2023, he was transferred to home confinement due to the COVID-19 pandemic's impact on prison populations. Kapoor's case became a landmark moment in the fight against corporate malpractice, symbolizing the deadly consequences of prioritizing profit over ethics. His fall from grace serves as a grim reminder of the human cost behind the opioid epidemic that continues to ravage communities across America. Guo Wengui, the billionaire who fell from grace. Guo Wengui, also known as Miles Guo, once enjoyed a life of luxury and influence, splitting his time between Hong Kong and New York. A self-proclaimed whistleblower and critic of the Chinese government, Guo's extravagant lifestyle and bold claims earned him fame and scrutiny. However, beneath the surface, Guo was orchestrating a web of deceit that led to his dramatic downfall. Guo's troubles began with allegations of financial fraud, including the use of multiple aliases to hide assets and manipulate political systems. Among his schemes was a blatant violation of U.S. election laws. He reimbursed straw donors to funnel illegal political contributions to candidates. Guo also falsified a green card application, lying about his use of aliases, and even transferred $5 million from China to the U.S. under false pretenses to purchase luxury properties. In 2023, U.S. federal investigators arrested Guo, uncovering a complex web of immigration fraud, financial deception, and identity manipulation. By 2024, he pleaded guilty to all charges. A judge sentenced him to 7 months in prison and ordered his deportation after serving his sentence, marking a swift end to his time in the United States. Guo's case stands as a cautionary tale of how wealth and influence can't shield someone from the law. His story reflects the dangers of unchecked ambition and the high price of deceit, leaving behind a legacy of fraud and scandal. Elizabeth Holmes, the rise and fall of a Silicon Valley star. Elizabeth Holmes was once hailed as the golden child of Silicon Valley. With her black turtlenecks, deep voice, and vision of revolutionizing healthcare, she drew comparisons to Steve Jobs. As the founder of Theranos, Holmes promised to change the world with a device that could run hundreds of medical tests using just a drop of blood. Investors poured nearly $1 billion into the company, making her the youngest self-made female billionaire. But behind the glossy image was a massive fraud. The Theranos blood testing technology, which Holmes claimed would transform healthcare, simply didn't work. Patients received inaccurate and sometimes life-threatening test results. Former employees described a culture of fear and secrecy, where any doubts about the technology were silenced. Holmes used charisma and deception to keep investors, media, and even board members in the dark. The illusion began to crumble in 2015 when journalist John Carreyrou from the Wall Street Journal exposed the truth. By 2018, Theranos had collapsed, and Holmes faced charges of fraud and conspiracy for deceiving investors and endangering patients. In 2022, Holmes was convicted and sentenced to over 11 years in federal prison. She was also ordered to pay $452 million in restitution to her defrauded investors, though most have yet to recover their losses. Her fall from grace marked one of the most dramatic scandals in business history. Elizabeth Holmes' story is a cautionary tale of unchecked ambition, deception, and the dark side of Silicon Valley's fake it till you make it culture. Once a symbol of innovation and success, she now serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of prioritizing image over integrity.